got to a point finally where we thought, yeah, it's time now to show this to the world.
We spent time together, like in the studio, producing music.
I guess that was the night when Adriatique was born.
We're in the car with Adriatique, Adrian and Adrian. Welcome back to Ibiza. When did you come to the island first, the very first time that you hit Ibiza?
I guess it was, what was it, around 2009?
2009, yeah, 2000.
I'm not quite sure anymore, but it was definitely before we played here.
So that was a holiday?
Yeah, it was a clubbing holiday, I would say. Yeah. We came for the clubbing experience, definitely.
As totally greenhorns, actually, like, yeah.
Yeah, I remember we had this beautiful place at Playa d'Embossa. I think it was called the Tivoli or something like this.
Tivoli Hotel, yeah.
So that rings a bell, I suppose.
I mean,
yeah.
Before it was refurbished, so I guess.
Legendary.
So, yeah,
yes.
legendary. So it was like us and I guess 3 of our friends, and yeah, basically it was just a few days to check out the clubs. It was super fun, but at the same time a lot of weird stuff happened. We got robbed at Tivoli. I think our rooms got like broken in, but
yeah, basically all rooms on the same floor were open when we came back from a clubbing night. So.
But it seemed like we kind of knew it, so we hid all our like valued stuff under the closet. Actually, we
there is a little space under the closet, you know, like.
We moved the closet, put the laptop and the stuff together, and when we came back, we were. Very glad to find it again.
So it was still there?
Yeah, it was still there.
Wow.
But the clothes were all like messed up and they were looking for, valuable stuff, I guess. But didn't find it because we hid it.
Well done. Where and when was your first gig here in Ibiza?
Actually, it was in the year 2012, I guess, yes. for Dynamic Neon Nights at Senkis, back in the days, yeah. So that was our first Ibiza season. But actually the first gig it didn't happen because the second floor where we were supposed to play was closed. So yeah.
We were at the lineup. We were on the lineup.
We were on the lineup, but we didn't made it to the booth. Actually, I mean, we made it to the booth, but they didn't open the floor.
You didn't get to play.
Yeah, exactly.
When you look back at the start of your career, what would you say were sort of the starting points? Like, what was it that made your career boost? Was it a few gigs? Was it a release? Was it meeting certain people? What made it for you?
I would say, or I speak for us both, we produced like we produced every night music in the studio and had like heavy sessions in our studio, and then we finally made a track we were happy with. Like it was called En Route. It was a housey vibe track, and then we got the chance to release it. And on this sampler, where we released it, there was also another track from a guy from our friend Charlie called Tilodomite, and I also liked his track very much, so we got in contact, and then we spent time together, like in the studio, producing music, and then we finally made a track with a sample from Feist, and with that track, with this collaboration, we had this feeling. This is something else. So
what was that track's name?
Deep in a Tree.
And okay, so that track got released, and then what happened?
Well, the track got released and the vinyl was going very well, I remember. We were super proud of it. And it had a good reputation. Like a lot of, I remember people like Arm were on the feedback, you know, like Toby Neumann back then, and all these kind of people were on this feedback list when you send out the promo. So that was for us, obviously, the best.
I received some messages. Hey, I heard your track at Panorama Bar. I was like, wow, it's insane. So yeah, that was a really good feeling.
It was a big moment.
Exactly, like immediate feedback from all kind of sides, because it was this first thing you thought, yeah, it's gonna be good, and at the end, it was decided by the people which played it or wherever that it is good, that it worked well. So this was kind of the kick-off moment for us, definitely.
Yeah, when Solomon invited us to Berlin for Rita to play the first time for Dynamic, Rita Butzke.
Yes. It was kind of a job interview. It's like they always did it back then, which was very cool because it has this natural way of getting people together. So he invited us, we had like little chats, we played, we saw him coming through the door, checking out how we play, you know, it was like kind of this job interview weekend.
In the morning, like, was it like?
Yeah, we played for like from 6 till 12, and in this moment everything kind of changed also in our minds, I think, that it is possible how he, like he said.
This brings me to the next question. Like, I think a lot of people have, well, only know you since about, I would say, 2012, 2013, but you just said it yourself. You've been DJing for a long time before that. How did the duo thing come about?
This is my story, right?
This is your turn.
No, it's my thing to tell it because the thing is, I knew him before as a DJ than he knew me in terms of like, I'm from a very like small village kind of in the western part of Austria, which I always my next cities to look up to were Zurich, for example, where he was playing already. And so I knew his name before, and then we finally played on the same lineup. We introduced ourselves with the same first name, which broke the ice. Yeah, which is not so, I mean, it's common you meet like another like with the same name, but then you are on the same lineup, you play together. And then we had a quick chat about our track selection and the set, and we were like kind of fond of each other. And so we started to have a few gigs together. He was telling me about his little studio he was trying to build in Zurich, and invited me over. And so one night we just sat together and said like, yeah, whatever, let's I don't know, leave our old personas behind and try something new. And I guess that was the night when Adriatique was born.
We've moved again, and we're now in a beautiful garden, which is probably the perfect backdrop to speak a bit about Ibiza. Is there a favorite venue you have?
I mean, we had really different experiences. For example, Pasha was insane to play there. Like it's especially on Sundays when with Solomon, when the booth is so close. I mean, I guess they changed it now this year. I heard they they rebuilt the club, but in the past years when we played there, it's like a really crazy energy to play there. Like really great crowd reaction, and DC10 as well is what I like there. It's not so. It's still very underground. It seems, it has this underground vibe. I mean, not too much like tables.
It's very
and
rough,
stuff.
right?
It's very rough, and everybody in there feels equal somehow.
If you had to pick one thing, what's the thing you most love about Ibiza?
For me, almost, which stands above all this, like this what we have here right now, like this environment. Besides all the craziness which is going on down there, and you can still have this beautiful nature and just the feel of the island itself. But I enjoy the after parties too and play there like for, I don't know, 20 hours. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of hard.
It's the diversity of the island.
Yeah. In a little more than a month, your new album will be released, Nude. What's the inspiration behind it?
For us, it means that we finally came to a point. I mean, he said it before that he really wants to do what he want to do and not do too much compromise anymore. And that's what the album is a little bit about. It's really that we show various sides of ourselves and also of our musical part, which we never had shown before, but still was there always. And we got to a point finally where we thought, yeah, it's time now to show this to the world.
On Nude, have you been collaborating with other people? Are there other artists featured on?
Actually, yes. We did 2 tracks with vocal collaborations. One is with Jonah McCleary, he's a UK singer, very talented. He did like great stuff in the past, so we were big fans of him, and we always wanted him on a track of us. And the guy which was working with us on the mixing process, Johannes Brecht, he's also with Dynamic. He gave us the input for a very talented vocalist, Delia de France. And then we sent the track to her. I mean, the track was already like super full of atmosphere and synths and sounds, and she was not sure if she's able to do a vocal on it. And then she made vocals, and she was telling us in the email, "Oh, I'm not sure if it's too much." And then I took some stuff out from the track and put her vocal in, and the result in the end was like, wow.
Another change of scenery. We're now inside High Ibiza, just before Afterlife. Your new album, Nude, will be released on Afterlife. At the same time, you belong to the Dynamic family still. Can you explain us how this came along, now being attached to two such influential labels?
You know, we are since quite a long time with Dynamic, as they picked us up like years ago, or picked up our music first, and obviously over the years we built a very, very strong relation, especially with the people in it. When we got to know Solomon first, it was through our demos we sent, and now I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years later we became friends, you know.
Yeah, well,
so that's like the family part of it, you know, and which won't change. Just because we release the album on another big label doesn't mean that we are not part of that anymore, and the opposite.
Let's speak a bit more about Afterlife. What makes Afterlife special?
Everything has its reason, the stage design and everything. It is definitely a party which tries to set the bar in terms of, as you mentioned, lineups, light and visual content.
It's nice to see like so much thoughts behind the production, I would say. I really like that.
Is there any dream back-to-back you've not played yet and which you would love to play with?
I mean, for me it's like Sven Fett, no question. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was easy, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and it's even more interesting because he doesn't do that, or almost never.
but I would play vinyl actually, of course, like back to back with vinyls.
I think Derek May.
How did it feel when you ever heard one of your tracks played out?
It's a pleasure, like to know that people play and like your tracks.
Especially if you like them back, if you like the people, or it is our artists which you are look up to, or you like their music, and when someone plays your music, it's like a quality stamp.
Like yesterday, he mentioned an email from Laurent Garnier.
Yeah.
And that he wrote that he likes our latest track on Siamese, and it's an honor like to hear that Laurent Garnier likes this track, and he was dropping some nice like text about it, and
That's great.
That's great.
If you're going out in Ibiza, if you have a night off and you go out, are you on the dance floor or are you in the DJ booth?
Behind the DJ booth.
Behind the DJ booth.
Yeah. Well, I like to sneak in once or twice.
When it's not too crowded.
Yeah,
for me, when it's not too crowded, maybe in the beginning, when the warm up, or like when it's not too busy, I like to be on a dance floor because the sound is the best.